this meeting to order. Trustee Stone Cipher, this is loud. Trustee Stone Cipher, would you lead us in the invocation?
Please stand. Lord, we come together today and we thank you for the opportunity that we each have to serve St. Petersburg College in this community. We thank you so much for the students and the faculty and the staff here and for all the work that they put in, for the students to better their lives and fill their mind with knowledge and work towards new careers, and for the faculty and staff, their ability to come and help others and make sure that those who live in Pinellas County and further have the chance to make something of themselves, to do something different in their lives, and to help support their families with all the decisions they make. We thank you so much for the opportunity that we have to serve and lead, and ask that you would give us wisdom in all the decisions that we make. And Lord, this week in particular, we ask that you would care and support for the communities of University of Virginia and the University of Ohio, who each lost students this weekend. It always hits close to home, especially for us at St. Pete College, being part of the higher education community. We ask that you would allow care to take over there, and that you would protect those students on campus around the United States. And finally, I would just ask that you would be there in support and comfort for the families of Gus Stavros and Brian Brillinger, both part of our community here that we live in, and also the St. Pete College family. We thank you for their lives, and it's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. We will start off with our St. Pete College spotlights.
Oh, it's my turn. Sorry.
That's all right.
Good morning, SPC. I hope that we're all having a fantastic week. It's been a while since we've had a board meeting. We had our workshop last month, so bear with me because I have a lot to share. We had our Discovery Day on October 25th, and so many people were so glad to see each other and have a good time together. Many of you really enjoyed our speaker, Dr. Mordecai Brownlee, if I say that right. And we do have his presentation, and you'll be able to get it if you weren't able to hear him speak about how we can come back together and make things happen. So I want to thank you for being there. For those of you who were presenters, those of you who organized it to make sure we got it done, thank you for all of your work in getting us through a very, very good Discovery Day. Our Phi Theta Kappa group applied for a grant and was awarded a grant from the Mellon Foundation for $1,000 to enhance their Honors in Action project this year. This award was a national award, so it was not just in Pinellas or just in Florida, so hats off to Phi Theta Kappa. Our SPC Badea group hosted the 47th Annual Black Student Leadership Summit at the Clearwater campus on November 3rd through 6th. There were students there from SPC, Pensacola, Mariana, Tallahassee, Lakeland, Broward, and Polk. The theme was Building Tomorrow's Leaders Today, and they focused on activism, academic excellence, cultural awareness, and economic empowerment. Our very own Trustee Cole co-hosted Leadership Pinellas. I believe that was at the Clearwater campus. And we had like 30 cohort members there, and you kind of shared with them any info. I don't know if you want to say that in your report, but I thought that was really good to have a trustee be a part of Leadership Pinellas, but also to co-host and to have them here at SPC. Dr. Barbara Hubbard and Jonathan Barnes had a very successful event at the Clearwater campus on the empty bowls that feed many. And it's really about poverty and making sure that we understand that folks are struggling with food. And what's really unique, I've attended once, and they really give you a bowl with a small amount of soup for you to really feel and understand what it's like to not have enough. And I want to say that there were 227 attendees, 305 bowls were sold, raising $10,171. So kudos to Dr. Hubbard and Dr. Barnes. I'm going to hold on ACCT. I believe you guys will probably talk about that. Trustee Gibbons, I have something just for you.
I'm sure you do.
Trustee Gibbons has been talking to me probably for 4 years total about supplier diversity and about ensuring that we have minority suppliers receiving contracts at SPC and making sure we do a better job there. Well, I am pleased to announce that over the last 2 years, we have at least a 61% increase in our supplier diversity work. On September 22nd, at the downtown campus, we held our first supplier diversity workshop. We have a supplier diversity website, and we're getting ready to hire a leader to, operate with supplier diversity, to get out there and make sure that we are letting people know what we have available and that we're educating them on how to engage SPC. So I can check that off my list. And I think that the other thing I want to say is our Model UN did it again, as they always do. They were recognized as an outstanding delegation for Ireland and Portugal. Congratulations to SPC's Model UN. Good job on that. And we were honored at the Pinellas County Ed Foundation for opening up the SPC hub at the Stavros Institute in the Finance Park area, and had a chance to spend some time with the superintendent and a lot of folks who have given to the Pinellas Ed Foundation. Thank you, Jesse, for your work and the foundation support in getting SPC there. It was an impressive hub. I took pictures, as you know, my selfies, and the team, we really enjoyed that, and just glad that we're a more meaningful part of the Stavros Institute and helping students understand how businesses work and run. I think that's it for spotlights. Thank you.
Very good. We will move on to the comment section. I have a few topics today. Is this on? Everybody can hear me? The ACCT meeting was a couple weeks ago in New York City. I was able to attend with Dr. Williams and Trustee Cole and Trustee Gibbons, and it was really good, as usual. It was, once we figured out the elevator system and how to get around the actual hotel, everything kind of fell into place. Very well attended. We just, we try to go in with an open mind and attend seminars or classes that we find appealing, and so it was a great weekend. Trustee Cole and I got lost a couple times in the city, but other than that, I would say we made a good impression. We had a dinner with Cuyahoga Community College, made some connections there. It was just a really well done event, and no travel issues or anything. I think we all got in and out. So that's the first thing, and they can speak to that in a minute. The other couple things I want to mention is our own Trustee Gibbons was recognized as a distinguished alumnus of Florida A&M University recently. We wanted to publicly congratulate you. That's great. Trustee Gibbons is very passionate about Florida A&M, and if you ever talk to him, that will come out, and you'll know that. But so congratulations there.
Thank you.
And then I was with several of us at the Good Burger Awards, where our own Trustee Stonecipher took home the Makers and Creators Award, which he's very understated about, but he is super excited about. So he had been up for it before, and he finally won it. He sprinted up on stage, if you were there and saw him, gave a great speech, and I believe the extremely heavy award that he won is in his office at this point. So just want to congratulate both of you guys. I was there at the Good Burgers with quite a few people here, and we had a really good turnout. I think more than last year, Jesse. So great seeing everybody, and it's always nice when we're recognized and trustees do good work. So that's all I have. Anybody else? Trustee Gibbs?
Let me start by saying it is hard when people challenge you and they push you to do certain things that you don't necessarily have all of the information to do. And I've been an executive for a long time, so I have been in those situations. It's very uncomfortable. So kudos to Dr. Williams and her staff on the supply diversity thing. It is not, I wasn't pushing you because I'm a minority or you're a minority. I was pushing you because the strength of any college is the community and its members in it and the students. That is our strength. And if we build on what our community looks like, the community, if it's 20% Asian, then we should be seeking to have 20% Asian minority participation in this college. Right? And we should be just as strong and diverse as the rest of this county. And so a job well done to you and your team, because I know that you didn't do it by yourself, and I did. I challenged you every step of the way. I will tell everybody openly and publicly, she did not like the conversations that we had. It was tough, and I was very, very rude sometimes, but I pushed because I wanted her to understand how much of a priority this was, not just because she is who she is, but because our community deserves that, and this college is the best college. So I know that we can figure out how to solve problems. We've done it for everybody else in this community. We can do it for ourselves as well. So that's number one. ACCT was a great time. I got to vote for the college and make sure that we get the right people on the national board. I went to a couple of trustee trainings, one on diversity, another one on how to be an effective trustee. And they're saying there's going to be a recession in this coming recession or climate. How do we get effective and get up and ready to go fast? Because we've seen these trends before where people, when the economy goes down, people come back, rush back to school, try to get retooled and retrained. So I wanted to be up on what other colleges we're doing across the country to try to be prepared for that. Congratulations on a great Discovery Day. I heard it was a phenomenal event. I'm sorry I could not attend, but I've heard from several people, even faculty and staff that I've run into in the grocery store, which I often do, told me how good it was. Also, the college and the president and her staff should be congratulated on doing a good job of mediating this vet tech thing. The situation I have heard back from those folks, they're very happy with the direction we're going and trying to figure this out with them. And also the insurance issue. if one more person stops me, I feel like I should have kept my mouth closed. But on this insurance thing, I had to stop going to the Publix downtown because I've run into so many people that work at St. Pete College that say that they like the board, they like how the board has reacted to that and tried to help families and our faculty and staff. And I know that's your number one priority. People may not see that. When you're the executive, sometimes you get beat up on a little bit, but I know that's your number one priority, and I wanted them to understand that too, that as a college we really love, trust, and respect them. We have no college without the faculty and the staff. So, and then, I don't know about a blue wave or a red wave, but I know this election in Florida kind of showed us a little bit of a different, we were purple one point, we were blue one point, now we're completely red. So I hope that everybody went out and voted. Nobody's going to like all the results, but our governor spoke to his staff like right after the election, and they're going to be hard charging on this education issue. So we need to be prepared to be challenged over the next 3 or 4 years, about maybe 2 years, about where we're going as a college and what he expects. So that's it for me.
Mr. Chair, may I ask
Yes, absolutely.
Trustee Gibbons, on the ACCT piece, when they talked about when the economy is, down, people, do they believe that's going to really happen again? Because the last wave, it did not. We did not see an increase in enrollment. What did they say in that
So
meeting?
I asked that question because, remember, we were dependent on that money.
Right.
Because we said, okay, well, the economy's going to dip. And when it did dip, we thought, okay, well, people are going to charge back to school. They said that the economy this time is a little different. It really is going to affect the middle class. The last time that happened, the pandemic came and saved them with the PPP. There are a lot of people now that eventually are going to fail at being in small businesses because they've taken all this extra income, started these businesses, and they're not doing as well as they thought they would do. And so the one place, I hate to say it this way, but this is exactly what they said is, people think that they can come get the financial aid and go to school and try to retool themselves a little bit and get a little better job than going back where they stop in the workplace, right? So they don't want to end up in the same spot. They kind of want to move up, which is why they wanted to own their own businesses in the first place. But they're seeing a lot of people failing at small business. And they know that, I guess, because of the trends that they looked at with the IRS. I didn't know that ACCT was that in depth, but they are looking at these trends with the IRS of people on their tax returns to show where they did not make more money by being in business. And at some point, they got to come out of that because mouths to feed. Some people can do that because they're single, but a lot of people can't because they have families. So that was their response.
Thank you.
Go right ahead.
Chair Kidwell, thank you.
Sure.
I just want to add to what you already talked about with the Good Burger Awards. It continues to be really great to see so much representation by St. Petersburg College people out and about and in our community and at these events. And this was a big event that's put on annually by the Chamber of Commerce.
Yep.
And there were so many of you there, and just thank you again. For being seen. It's important, right? Having conversations with all different types of people, leaders, or just those that are residents of our community, and making sure that they know St. Petersburg College is here, they know what we do, and they can put a face and a name together and have a connection here. So thank you all for that. And then, randomly a couple weeks ago, I had a meeting at the brewery with somebody from a Pinellas County office, and we got to talking about other things. And, it turns out this person was a veteran and finally got his act together, as he said it, not me, and went to St. Petersburg College to find a new path for his life. And he said, St. Petersburg College forever changed his life, and the people who were there to support him, to guide him, to push him in the right direction. He started down one education path and moved to another path, through great conversations with some of our faculty and with some of our advisors. And he went on and on and on about how much, he loves this place. And it's so great to hear, and it's always great to hear when it's just kind of by happenstance that two people come together and start talking, and you hear a story like that. So thank you all again for your work here. You are making a difference, and it's visible.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. To follow up with what Dr. Williams said, we collectively, Dr. Griffith and her team hosted Leadership Pinellas at the Clearwater campus this month, and it was a great opportunity to have about 35 community leaders from North Pinellas County come to St. Petersburg College. Dr. Scrid and Dr. For School of Business, we had a wonderful conversation about workforce development and the responsiveness that the team has with respect to the businesses and how they can start programs and react to programs, the 2+2 types of programs. And it was then the class then took a tour of the Clearwater campus as well. So it was wonderful to host them, and my law firm and the college were happy to do that. So, and then it was also a great reminder when I walked on campus this morning and saw all of the power lines and all the linemen coming on campus at the same time for their program. And I continue to get inquiries about the Duke University Lineman program and about the success of it. And people, I'm so happy that we have that program specifically, which is so high profile, especially during storm season, because we have so many other programs that were started and are such quick response in a similar manner. And so this lineman program, I think, has been wonderful for the college to really show publicly what we can do when perhaps the other types of quick response programs that we've had have been so specific to businesses that other people can't see. Everybody sees linemen, everybody sees the t-shirts that they had on were Duke and SPC, and it's just great. So thank you all very much.
All right. Yes.
I wanted to let you guys know how hard the trustees work. A lot of the things that we've been able to do, they have supported. You brought some folks to the supplier diversity. They were like, well, Katie Cole told me to come. I mean, you guys are doing that. Trustee Gibbons is speaking tomorrow when FAMU is going to be on campus at Gibbs. And so just the interaction and engagement means a lot. And so just want to thank each and every one of you for your individual contribution that makes a collective impact, like huge. And we could not do it without you. Chair Butts is working with us on insurance. We did reach out to the consortium once we received his request of the questions that he posed, and we are awaiting a response. So just want you to know that our trustees are really standing in the gap to make sure that we're getting things done. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of what we're doing. So thank you. I just felt the need to say that this morning. Thank you.
All right. There are no other comments. Do you have something?
No, I don't have anything.
The meeting is now open for public comments. The meeting is now open for public comments. Members of the public who wish to speak should have provided a card to Rebecca. Do we have any? All right. Do we have any members of the public that would like to make a public comment? Yes? Oh. How are you? The public comment period is closed. On to the review and approval of minutes. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Do we have a second? Second. Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Ms. Kanza, do we have a general counsel report this morning?
Chair Kidwell, trustees, Dr. Williams. I have just two brief comments about our unions. First, our adjunct will have a ratification vote of our proposed contract this week. So if it's ratified by the adjunct union, then it'll come to the board for final approval. So we'll await the results. And secondly, we're continuing to meet with our full-time faculty. We've had some scheduling issues because of the hurricane and the recent tropical storm, but our next session is on November 29th. So we look forward to meeting with them.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Chair, real quick. I don't want to know details, but it is the ratification vote is what we sent back to them, right?
Correct. It excludes the two pieces that were discussed at impasse hearing, so.
Thank you, Mia.
On to the strategic focus. Our first presentation is from Dr. Rachel Bennett.
Good morning, Trustee Kidwell, Dr. Williams, and members of the board. I'm Rachel Bennett. I'm the current academic director for our Center for Excellence in Teaching and Learning. I know better than put candy in my mouth, sorry. So it's actually been quite a while since I've been able to share with you guys. It was May of 2019 when the world was normal. And so a lot has happened since that time, and I wanted to just quickly share our mission with you to remind you the purpose of CETL. So we are here to support, recognize, and reward our faculty in the pursuit of excellence in teaching, learning, and assessing our students. Most in the forefront, though, is focused on student success. So I'm going to talk to you about a couple topics this morning. The first is the AQ courses that we've been offering to faculty. I'll also talk a little bit about what CETL's offering for faculty, a little bit about our updated location, and then a partnership that's happened between CETL and the IDEAS teams. And I know you don't know the acronyms, we're going to get there. Okay. So the Association of College and University Educators is a partnership that we've forged, and I'm going to call them AQ as we proceed because that's a mouthful to go through. And we're offering two certification options to our faculty. The first is called the Effective Online Teaching Practices Certification. This is actually 4 courses that faculty take to earn the full certification. We're also offering the Inclusive Teaching for Equitable Learning certification, and that's a standalone course. It's a single course, and once they complete the course, they receive the certification. So let me tell you a little bit about these courses. So definitely not going to cover all the material here. I just want you to see the visual of how much is involved in each of these courses. Our faculty are making a commitment of 2 to 3 hours per week, which means over the 4 courses in the micro courses for the EOTP certification, Effective Online Teaching Practices, they may be spending as much as 80 hours going through that course, right? So these are very significant courses. Some of the advantages of the AQ courses is that they are peer-reviewed and put together by experts in higher education. Our faculty get to see videos both of other faculty members discussing the practices, of students sharing their responses to the practices, and also videos of faculty members actually implementing the practices that they're learning about. So it's a very well-rounded program that we're offering. In addition, AQ works with lots of institutions around the country, and they have proven results in terms of increasing student success and closing achievement gaps. So that was critical for us in making this decision. So our current participation stands here. Bearing in mind we started in summer of 21 and we kind of started slow, right? Figure out what the temperature of the faculty is, and then we moved forward from there. So to this point, we've had 137 folks participate. 90 of those folks are not our full-time faculty. 47 of them are adjuncts, and I know you see the little plus sign there. That's because lots of our adjuncts are actually full-time SPC employees who also teach. But we've also seen some of our academic leadership take these courses as well, like deans and program directors, and some of those folks that they're in tune with what's happening. We have an overall completion rate of 95%, which is comparatively pretty darn good, right? At this point, we've had 46 faculty complete the full 4-course micro-course certification, and we have 26 folks who've completed the equitable learning certification. So these are solid numbers. Again, it's not like we can do the whole institution at one time, right? It's kind of a rolling admission type of thing. In addition to that, this really excites me. We have lots of folks who are on the path, right? So we have 39 people who are currently enrolled in their first course, 19 who are enrolled in their second, so on and so forth. And so we're well on our way to keeping those numbers moving in the right direction. So I wanted to show you a little bit of the information about the success rates that our faculty are having with these courses. And I know this is a terrible slide. I didn't make it, I promise. So this is actually from a course called Promoting Active Learning Online. And so what I wanted to point out to you is a couple things. So first, faculty are surveyed at the beginning and the end of the course, and they're asked their confidence level, right? How confident are you in using this teaching technique? And so one of the ones I wanted to highlight is using the active learning cycle. So really having a planned out process for what students are learning in their lesson plans. That number was 33% pre-course. It jumps to 84% post-course, right? The second one I wanted to point out, faculty, 54% of faculty felt they were confident ensuring that the majority of students were getting something out of discussions and online discussions. By the end of the course, 98% of our takers said, yep, I'm good, I know what I'm doing in that regard. So these numbers are really significant. Okay, so in addition to administering AQ, CETL has kept up with a lot of our traditional type activities, including faculty recognition and celebration. So we're still doing the Distinguished Faculty Awards. Dr. Lee Altroth and I have partnered on providing some social opportunities for our faculty as well as a recognition program. We also took over the Emerita program at CETL, and we've opened that up so that all full-time faculty can review the nominees and vote on them. And I think that's really important for the validity and the feeling of specialness associated with that program. We still continue to support fall and spring adjunct learning days where we invite our adjuncts to come in and learn with us. And we're going back face-to-face in the spring. We're very excited about that, even though we've done it successfully online over these last couple years. And lots of webinars, right? So we have a weekly webinar series called Learn, Forward, Keep Teaching, which Dr. Williams unknowingly named for us. And that's a weekly session where sometimes we talk about teaching, sometimes we bring in other parts of the college to share with faculty. It's a really diverse program that we have there. And we continue to support department speaker awards. So we pay honorarium fees for others who want to bring in speakers. And so the picture you see in the top right there is actually Professor David Jakes, who is an expert on Stonehenge. And he joined us on 3 separate occasions on Zoom to talk to students and faculty about the archaeological impacts, what we were learning about Stonehenge, all that great stuff. So busy. So our data looks like this, and it's averaged out because spring of 2020 created a false spike in attendance, right? Because we had lots of folks who were going, oh boy, I don't know how to teach online. CETL can help with that, right? And so we kind of average these numbers out to accommodate for that. We're averaging over 80 hours of professional development per year, about 1,000 participants per year, and then about 54 opportunities for people to engage in professional development. And that 54 does not include Learn, Forward, Keep Teaching. That would be cheating, right? You can't put a weekly event on this number. And again, that's in addition to AQ. So I also wanted to mention here that participation numbers aren't amazing. I get that. We have several factors going on. People are just figuring out getting reintegrated into a normal work cycle. In addition to that, we have a lot of people who are committing their time to AQ, and that may mean they don't have time for additional events. So not worried, kind of worried, but mostly not worried. CETL has also had the opportunity to partnership with the IDEAS team, which is instructional design, education, and support. And the IDEAS team is funded by distance learning fees, so they're our distance learning experts. And again, sort of through the events of COVID, we realized, wait a minute, we don't need to be so separate with regards to distance learning training and regular, everything else CETL handles. So we've partnered together, put together a website, we coordinate our events. It's one-stop shop for faculty who need information from these 2 teams, and that's been working really well. And last but not least, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that we would love to see you all very early on Saturday, February 11th at the Clearwater campus to join us for the Titan Trot. I know it says the 8th annual, but this is officially my 10th year coordinating an SPC race. So you have a packet that has a sponsorship flyer, some additional flyer information about the race, and my business card. If there's anything I can do to rope you in, let me know. And And that's all I have. Can I answer any questions?
My family foundation will be a sponsor. So.
I will get in touch. Thank you so much. Any questions?
I really want to thank you, Rachel and Cedal, for the work that's been done. You know, a lot of times we don't realize the support that Cedal provides to our faculty, and it's going to be up to our faculty to participate. I know that I'm on your email list, and the edutainment that you provide, where you try to educate and entertain at the same time, where it's not so dry, is just amazing. And so I want to thank you for that. It's so much that our faculty do that I'm so proud of. The other thing that you have on your desk is the ethics book. This is a book written by St. Petersburg College faculty for our ethics course. We've had an ethics book for decades, at least as long as I think I've been here. We changed publishers, but this is a book written by our faculty for our students. And I'm just so proud. I think that it's Christian is one of the co-authors, and a lot of others. And so I want to thank Dean Demers and others for the ethics book. I did ask for our trustees to have a copy because I believe it's important for you to see the quality work of our faculty. You're getting just a small glimpse, you know, of Rachel and the good work that she's doing. And I just want to thank Cedal for everything that you guys have done and will continue to do.
Yes.
I thought you gave us this book because you thought we were morally messed up. I didn't know. I was like, whoa.
It's a little hint there, you
And then
know?
the second thing is I'm sponsoring because I can't outrun Nate, and I know he's going to be in this race. So I'll just give money and let him run.
We may have Jason this year, so.
Money works great too. So
I'll let my
we'll take
son,
runners, we'll take money.
I'll run you guys. I won't do that.
Thank you all very much.
Mr. Chair, I also, sorry, Ms. Bennett, wanted to echo some of the things that Dr. Williams said, but we spend so much time up here talking about student success, and often those conversations revolve around everything except what happens in the classroom, because obviously our expectation is that what's happening in the classroom is getting the students where they need to go, and so we don't spend a lot of time talking about that. And so I would just be remiss if we didn't acknowledge this presentation and you and that focus, because very intentionally this board over the past 4.5, 5 years has built up everything else around the college to ensure, we hope, that the faculty can focus on teaching, right? And not focus on feeding and on all of the other wraparound services that we've identified are struggles to student success. And so I know we've made great strides, but we still have so much farther to go. And so I am thrilled to see this presentation, and I hope it's more recent than every 3 years that we get to see you again, to have these check-ins, because I know not to talk about things we're not supposed to talk about, but that's the key, I think, from the board's expectation as to what's happening in the classroom.
That's great.
Absolutely.
Are these students succeeding academically?
That's right.
Dr. Williams says it all the time, that these students come to us, we don't have a choice whether that we take them. They are here. We have to find opportunities to reach them in the classroom, and so providing these types of training programs and creative solutions is what we can do. And so I'm thrilled to see it and appreciate your creativity in doing that.
Thank you.
And thank you to the faculty who are participating, and hopefully we'll get those numbers up.
Yeah.
So.
I will just add, after watching the last couple of years, my personal mantra this year has been student success doesn't happen without faculty success. And so, you know, that's kind of the perspective I take in all this. So thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, before we move forward, I do have to echo what Chair Cole stated. And, you know, a lot of our students come to us with a lot of challenges. And I can promise you there will be more coming with more challenges than less. And what happens in that classroom and the ability to really care about how our students are doing and what's going on is going to be important. It's going to be important for us to find alternatives to those students whose children's, got COVID 3 days ago and couldn't come and take the class. What can we do to help them stay in school and move forward? And so the classroom experience is critical, and the only person who controls that is the faculty member, and being able to be caring and understanding to help those students succeed. I just had an incident where one of our students has 3 children, and all 3 got COVID at the same time. And then she got COVID afterwards, and she missed 2 weeks of school, rightfully so. So how can we help that student still succeed even though she missed class and missed her exam? So I think being caring and what happens in that classroom is going to be critical to our success. Thank you.
Great comments, everybody. Our next presentation will be from Mr. Matthew Bodie, One Goal Learning Resources.
Good morning, Chair Kidwell, members of the board, President Williams. Thank you very much for this opportunity to present to you today on the great work of Learning Resources. My name is Matthew Bodie. I'm the Executive Director for Learning Resources here at the college. Just to give you a little departmental context, I wanted to share with you that Learning Resources has been around since about 2011 as an integrated department. There's 72 budgeted staff members right around there, and 60 plus OPS workers, both student workers and part-time workers. Collectively, among our budgeted staff, we have almost 600 years of service. I like to brag a little bit because our largest assets are our staff. They have 32 advanced degrees. 26 have served or are currently serving in adjunct capacities. And just recently we completed the CRLA, College Reading and Language Association, which is a larger entity that manages certifications for tutoring. And 37 of our budgeted staff have gone through that program. It's sort of the gold standard in the field. We have 7 facilities that we operate throughout the county. And we're open to collect 250 hours a week on campus and 65 plus hours a week online. You may say, what is Learning Resources? What's included? And there's a list there. We're definitely more than just books and tutoring. We have everything from workshops and events. You see there maker spaces, which is over, for instance, at our Seminole campus. You may have been to our innovation lab where we have augmented reality and virtual reality tools, 3D printers, things that are emerging technologies for our students and our community to utilize. But one thing I wanted to call to your attention, and I'll discuss today with our Project One Goal, is our integration with faculty, both with their work and the curriculum itself. Everybody likes a Start Here button. They want to know where they want to go to get in the right direction. And it's pretty simple from the home page, that little icon you see down there at the bottom. You can click on it and it'll take you to Learning Resources. And when you get there, you can look on the left and there are some of our most valuable resources available for you to click on. Our Students Need to Know guide, which I'll talk about in just a moment. Also, ability to make appointments, and I'll show some of that to you as well. Our information systems and our Contact Us button is there. Also, you can go directly there by just clicking on sbcollege.edu/LR for Learning Resources. I mentioned the Students Need to Know guide. During the pandemic, we became more unified than ever. We realized we really needed to get the information out there to students all in one place. It didn't have to be something dispersed as it kind of was before. So we created this one guide so they can find operational hours, links to appointments, how to get services online, all in this one place. So we keep this up to date. And there is a counterpart as well called Faculty Need to Know, so they can put it in their courses and promote our services to the students. We have several pathways for students to get help. One of them, we certainly still have drop-in services, but since the pandemic, we actually have moved quite a bit over to the appointment systems, and I'll show you that in just a moment. But I wanted to share with you, we have on-demand tutoring available through tutor.com. That's during evenings, weekends, overnights. That's available to them in a wide variety of subjects. And then Ask a Librarian services are available 10 a.m. through midnight night, Sunday through Thursday, and I believe it's 10 to 5 on Friday, Saturday. That is a statewide service to which we contribute about 10 to 15 hours a week as part of it, and that's librarians across the state. The one I'd like to highlight is our appointment system, which was created and maintained by our own Courtney Martin. She also does this for student services, for all the work they do in advising as well. It's really been a robust system. On the left-hand side, you can see there that they can make an appointment on campus easily. They just go over to this link and they can click by subject. They can click by the actual campus that they're on. You can actually even reserve a study room if that's what you'd like to do at the various campuses. On the right-hand side, you'll see that they can make an appointment online. It's the same system, they just divide out a little differently. On the right-hand side, there's an online system where they can make an appointment. They click who they want to get tutoring with, or maybe they don't want someone in particularly, they just take whoever. They pick the date, and they can, if you can see here, some are even as available as late as 11 p.m. for this instance. I will mention that these are, the students do love this because they can book out a week in advance, they can plan ahead. Previously, students might come and they might sit for a while and wait, like waiting to get a tutor. Now it's like they can go in, find exactly who they want, pick the tutor that they want, and feel really good and confident when they leave. So where has all this gotten to us? I wanted to share with you last year's academic year and where we were. At the top there, you'll see we had over 30,000 individual sessions. That includes our work as well as some of the work with tutor.com. If you want to do the math, it's like 502 days straight of tutoring. Sounds like quite a labor of love in a lot of ways. We're excited. At the very bottom there, you'll see we reached over 10,000 students. That's 34% of what our enrollment was in academic year 21-22. So good numbers, and we're proud of those. And big numbers are a good thing. You've heard us talk over the years about our reach. But, sometimes we need to focus. We need to narrow on some particular populations, as we've heard about some of the achievement gaps that exist within our work. So historically, last year, we also took on a new program called the Complete Don't Repeat team. And this team, led by Ethan Hart over at our Tarpon Springs campus, he's associate director there, and Jennifer Greger, who is our associate director at Seminole campus, together with a wide variety of folks across our campuses, put together this plan to try to provide for students who were repeating in particular 2 gateway courses, ENC 1101, which is our Composition 1 course, and MGF 1106, which is Liberal Arts Math 1, for those people like me who were communications majors and not computer or engineering majors. But in this case, we were able to have created a program where there were mentors of about 14 of our staff, professional staff, working to serve 600 students repeating these courses across 109 sections. And what we learned from that was we did continuous outreach with these students. We provide for them each week a motivational message, letting them know about the resources. We had corresponding workshops to these courses, so they had the content available to them and they were invited to attend these. These were online because a lot of our students are online. We did have some on campus as well. And we were able to work directly with the faculty, and that's really one of the key pieces. As Rachel pointed out earlier, the faculty success is what helps propel student success. And so the Complete Don't Repeat program we did all of last year, but we thought we could do even better as we looked forward. As we've heard in our meetings here, Dr. Liao Tross reported some of our modality gaps. We know online asynchronous learning is one of those spaces where students just aren't getting to the success rates we want. So we took that in stride and started thinking about new ways we might identify populations and what we might be able to do to stand in the gap. So what we came up with was a brand new program this semester. We just started it at the beginning of the semester, called Project One Goal. One Goal is actually an acronym. It stands for Outreach for New Educational Goals and Online Asynchronous Learning. Thank you, Jennifer Greger, for coming up with that. It was actually, One Goal came from a random generator, and we're like, what does that mean? And so we finally landed on, this is a great one. So we're proud of this. It is a retention program. It is a way to integrate into the course courses. It borrows from that complete, don't repeat team that we created. A lot of the good things that we learned from there, we're now implementing in this. And you say, what courses does this support? Again, we're looking at that ENC 1101, that Comp 1 course. We know that modality for asynchronous in particular is not that great. MAT 1033 is intermediate algebra. MGF 1106, again, the liberal arts math, and then trigonometry, MAC 1114, which is about 3-4 sections each semester, but the success rates in there are not as strong as Dr. Chang would like them to be. And so we have coordinated with the deans, speaking of Dean Chang, with Dean Leopold, Dean Chang, and the faculty working through this one goal process. Where are we with this? So this semester we had 59 sections in total among these 3 courses that we are embedded in. We're working side by side with faculty, 43 faculty members, and we're calling our professional staff one goal guides instead of just mentors, but we're guides, leading them along the way, along the pathway, right? And so there's 28 of those, but that's really not a full number. We have a full support team behind that. There's the 28 in the courses, but almost all of our members of our staff are involved in this. This is not just a one-off type deal. So we have folks preparing these workshops. For instance, our learning resources supervisor over at the Gibbs campus, Thelma Wharton's been putting together these math workshops and scheduling them. Joey Scholing, who's one of our librarians over at the Clearwater campus, has been putting together our writing and research workshops, so they're all coordinated together and offered throughout the course of the semester. There's about 1,800 students in full that we're working with in this Project Reach. So just to give you a little general idea what this looks like, here's one of those motivational messages. We send these out each Monday from the guides. They have access through my courses. They have access to the course, and they're able to email the students. And they share with them, hey, we're having a workshop this week. We're preparing, in this case, for final exams. You might want to come to this workshop. There's a review session for math, or maybe you're writing your final essay. And then they provide for them some tips for that week. And these are types of messages. Sometimes they're just really simple, like you can do it, keep up the great work, those sorts of things that really motivate them. One of the things we learned from the complete, don't repeat, when we asked and surveyed the students, they actually liked those confidence builders almost better than anything else. Sometimes that's just what they need. We know that they struggle, as we've mentioned earlier, to get where they're at, and we want to promote that and help them feel as confident as possible. I mentioned the corresponding workshops. You can see here part 14 was this week on algebra, intermediate algebra, for instance. These are prepared workshops because these are online students. They are online over Zoom. They can register through our Titan Connect and get on board with that. They promote them into the courses each week through that motivational message. And these are recorded and sent back out to those students so that they can have them for future reference. Not only are we doing the workshops, but we also have, in some cases, embedded work in the courses. For instance, you'll see here Dr. C.J. Yao, who's one of our writing specialists. He is in Professor Payton's ENC 1101 course, and he has a discussion board for them, right? And so the students ask their questions, he responds to them. You can see here it's a little lengthy back and forth about how do I set up an art essay that I'm working on? They're doing an art analysis. What do I do? And so these mediations and moderations help our students as they work through some of those difficult parts of writing or of the math that they're set out to complete. Probably one of the most innovative pieces that has come out of this is very much thanks to the academic technology team. That's Chris Harvey and Mike Carnahan, who are geniuses in a lot of ways. And they put together, they made flesh basically the ideas we had, like, can we have an email tutor button? So when a guide, as we call them, is in a course, they enroll them in the, we call them role of tutor is what it's called. And so when a faculty member is in their grading, as you can see here, there's a slider, they can select it and it can say like anyone below 75%, for instance. They're able to see those students who are not doing well. They can click the email tutor button and automatically opens up this message that we've built a template for and say, hey, it comes to the guide in the course, the tutor in the course, and they're able to tell them, hey, this student needs some help, and here's where they need some help. help specifically. And what we'll do is we'll receive it, and they can also copy the student on it so they know that it's coming their way as well. We can connect them and get them to an appointment, so we can create sort of an intervention plan so they can do better in the future as opposed to struggling with some of these areas, whether it be math or composition. Finally, another innovation, and this is coming out in spring. Very grateful to Thaddean Franciscowicz, who's over at St. Pete Gibbs campus, who's one of our writing specialists, as well as Grace Runninger, who is over at the HEC campus. They've led a group of our writing team, and they put together this resource. This is really wonderful. It's 9 interactive modules. It's called the Way Tool, probably playing a little off The Mandalorian a little bit, but it stands for Where Are You? And the catchphrase is actually, where are you? You see the umbrella emblem there. Where are you under the writing process umbrella? And there's 9 different modules. They can jump in there anywhere they want, or they can start from the very beginning, and they can watch interactive videos, do interactive play in there, figuring things out. But these are the types of resources that we like to build for students so that they have them accessible to them. And this will be available in spring to all of our courses, actually. I was remiss in mentioning, by the way, if you didn't catch the wonderful One Goal logo design, it was actually created as part of an internal challenge, and one of our librarians, Heather Meyer, over at our Clearwater campus, created it, so we're very grateful to her artwork. So we're proud of that. So that's pretty much One Goal in a nutshell. It is really about one college, one goal, student success, and library and learning resources are really proud to be part of that. So with all that said, I wonder if you have any questions for me.
Yeah, not so much a question, but very, very cool use of technology, and I think it's great that students are able to access it, able to get linked up with somebody to help them. I also like looking at it before you get to the end, right, where you're able to tell how they're doing throughout and really try to go in and grab them and get them the help they need. So it's a good job.
Thank you so much.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
I like the notion of having help within the classroom and being able to support the faculty and the student in that class, and that student gets an extra shot in the arm, if you will, to help them stay in school, especially in the online platform.
Yes.
The more interaction and engagement that happens in that class, the better opportunity for the student to stay and complete. So One Goal is amazing.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Very good.
Appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
Great job.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to the consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move that we accept the consent agenda as printed in the
Do we have a second?
Second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Consent agenda passes. Next item on the agenda are the informational reports. The board was provided the informational reports, so I don't believe there's any discussion. If there is.
Mr.
Yes.
Chair, I was remiss in my earlier comments. I wanted to acknowledge the Palladium because within the past few weeks, we had an advisory committee meeting at the Palladium. It was felt as though I was the only non-arts, well, I was the only non-arts person there, and it was really fun to be surrounded, Jesse and I, but I don't want to take away if you are a singer or dancer that I don't know about, but
he can jump fences, so we don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I just wanted to congratulate Paul and the team there coming together, all of the wonderful programming. They are 100% back up and running after some of the delays. And I just wanted to say how fun it is, I think, for each of us. It is for me to be exposed to these different parts of SPC and really understand what other things that the college offers in our community through ISPS and the foundation and the Palladium and everything else. So thank you.
Thank you for those comments.
Mr. Chair, real quick, on the heels of that, I wanted to echo Ms. Cole's sentiment for the Palladium. We had one of the queens of comedy, Samore, is looking to do an event, and Mr. Paul Welburn did a great job of showing her and her team and staff around. I think they're actually going to do an event, and Dr. Carver showed up, and we showed them the Palladium. I won't even get into it. I was saying the facility was a little old, and Dr. Carver assured me that we should not be using those terms, that it is historic. So, but I think she's really looking forward to doing and bringing comedians from across the country to that site and that venue. And then I would be remiss if I didn't say something about Ms. Kim Jackson, Sam, and the rest of the staff at ISPS, Institute of Public Policy. They did an excellent job. They were involved with the senatorial debate between Marco Rubio and Val Demings, and we got the recognition of that. And I think out of that particular debate, we're going to be getting some really, really good board members coming towards ISPS real soon. So thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Good. We do not have any proposed changes to the Board of Trustees manual, so we are at the President's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Ms. Cole, well, I was going to call you Chair Cole. Trustee Cole, you stole my thunder on the Palladium. I had a chance to go see, was it the Stylistics at the Palladium, and it was crowded. There are a lot of people, Palladium's back up and running, and things are going extremely well. And I also have ISPS written, but you've done that, so that's okay. This is good. That's what trustees do. I do want to talk a little bit about my meeting with the faculty. I did have a Zoom meeting with faculty last week. It was very good. We talked a lot about student success, and I was able to share with them the state of the state college system success and graduation rates and where we stood. And we'll be spending a lot of time on how do we improve those rates going forward. And the faculty were very open and collaborative, and we had a great conversation. There's some unique things that we still need to work on from both the college side, I think, and the faculty side. But that was one of my first meetings with them in a long time, and it was a very good meeting. I think we were on the line for about an hour and a half, maybe a little longer than that. So I want to thank the faculty who participated, and those who actually brought forward those questions. Will be bringing some additional data forward to the faculty. They did request it, and we're focusing on student graduation rates, completion, and success. And so hats off to our faculty. I have to say that looking at all of the colleges' success rates and looking at the larger institutions and those who are comparable to SPC, we have some work to do. And so I'm saying that publicly to make sure everybody hears we've got some work to do. Graduation is on December 10th, I believe, and we're going to do the grad walk. I'm hoping that next December we can go ahead and have the regular ceremonies. I know that with the anticipated number of graduates, we'd have to do like 3. Different ceremonies. So we chose the grad walks again this time, and each of you have been given that information. The concerns about the grad walk for me is it may bring more students to the May graduation, which we're trying to shorten. So we'll be working on that for next year, but this year we'll have the grad walks, and Rebecca will be looking forward to hearing from each of you on your participation. Legislatively, now that the election is done, we're ready to move forward. We know the players. The Senate has put together their leadership team. We know who's going to be doing what, who's chairing what, and we'll be putting our strategies together, Amal, to go forward with that. One of the things that I am so proud of is our new commissioner, Manny Diaz. He has been very supportive of the Florida college system. And I mentioned it a couple of months ago, but so much supportive that he's placed us in his legislative budget request at the tune of, I think it's $500 million. trying to make sure I don't misquote. I think it's for the state colleges to have in recurring funding, which is the first time this has happened in decades. The second thing he put in there was $92 million for our buildings and help with the upkeep of maintenance for the state colleges, and the proposal is more than the universities. And so as a strategy this year, the Florida college system is going to support our commissioners' LBR instead of going out on our own and separate, because we have a commissioner who is supportive of us and has been very helpful and is moving things forward for the college system. With that, we're really looking at not going after a lot of recurring money individually as institutions, but to go after one-time money to bolster what we're trying to do in workforce and other things that the governor will have us do. The Council of Presidents will be meeting on Thursday and finalizing that, but it would not, to me, be prudent to not support our commissioner, who's been very supportive of us. And so that is my report, Mr. Chair.
Very good. Our next meeting date will be January 24th, 2023. It'll be a workshop at the Epicenter. That's all we got. This meeting is adjourned.
Now we open the other one.
The Governing Board of the St. Petersburg Collegiate High Schools, and welcome Ms. Catherine Kennedy.
Good morning, Chair Kidwell, board members, Madam President.
Good morning.
I am Catherine Kennedy, and it is my pleasure to have as one of my responsibilities as an Associate Vice President here at the college, the Collegiate High Schools, and of course you are our governing board. So I have two things for you today for your consideration for approval, and one piece of information. The Teacher Salary Increase Allocation, TSIA. This is K-12 legislation, and it was passed in 2020, 2021. And according to the Florida statute, these funds are to increase the minimum base salary for all full-time classroom teachers up to $47,500. The state distributes funds for both maintenance for these increases, as well as for the increases themselves. Our collegiate high schools receive just under $40,000 for the growth distribution. These funds are allocated based on student headcount, and upon your approval, will be equally divided amongst the eligible staff to increase their base salary.
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Thank
All
you.
in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you. Second thing for your consideration, referendum funds. This is local. Pinellas County voters approved a $500,000 property tax to help recruit and retain qualified K-12 teachers. This also is to boost visual arts, music, reading, and technology for the K-12 schools. This was first approved by Pinellas County voters in 2004 and has been repeatedly approved every 4 years. The current referendum will run through 2024. Our collegiate high schools have received almost $330,000 this year. 80% of those funds are designated for bonuses and professional development, and the remaining 20% are to be used for visual arts, music, reading, and technology. Upon your approval, we will be able to give each eligible staff member a bonus of $3,000 out of that designated 80%, and with valuable professional development opportunities. The remaining 20%, which is about $65,000, will be used as directed for visual arts, music, reading, and technology.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Thank you.
Motion passes.
And for your information, we do currently have 2 teachers that are teaching out of field. Both of those teachers are at our new downtown location at the STEM Collegiate High School. This information has been shared with the parents and with the district, and of course, as our board wanted and needed to share that information with you as well. It is our chemistry teacher, and she will be taking the chemistry certification exam in December. So we're looking forward to that next month. And our reading teacher, she actually has taken all of the reading courses for the endorsement. However, when she took those reading courses, they were coded differently than they are now. So the State Department of Education had some mix-up with that. So she is working closely with them right now to make sure they can actually see she really does have all of the certifications. Want you to be aware that teachers are allowed to teach out of field for 1 year. So we're in compliance, everything, but you all needed to know as a board, so I wanted to share that. And lastly, I would be honored to share highlights from our 3 collegiate high schools. As you know, we've had in existence both the Gibbs and the Tarpon Springs campus. Well, both of those campuses have received a school grade of A and have received clean audits. This is due to the hard work of the faculty, the staff, and the students at those 2 schools this last year, in addition to your support as their board. The grade of A, that equates to bonuses for the staff. The clean audit allows for us to work with the Education Commissioner's Office to designate Tarpon Springs now as high performing. We expect to hear back soon with that designation. Once that designation is official, it will allow us to expand with a 9th grade if we wish. It also reduces the administration fee that we pay the district since they are our sponsor. And as you know, St. Pete Gibbs is already designated as high performing. The Gibbs campus also received the School of Excellence distinction. This allows their teachers to receive professional development points as opposed to having to go through some of those courses or those seminars. And our new STEM downtown school, very excited to report that they have 100% of the students made a C or better in their CGS 1100. This is the first course in their progression toward that AS degree. Remember, this is an 8-week course. This is why we already know the success rates of that course, even though the semester has not ended. We are in the midst of recruitment season. This is when our families are looking to what schools they want their children to attend next year. Again, very good news. Our all of the info sessions are going strong, but STEM actually had to include a new information session because all of their others had filled. So we're very excited about the interest. And remember, these are high schools, so they have had their fall dances, they have had their game and movie nights, so the students not only are doing academically well, but socially well.
Great.
Any questions for me?
Go ahead.
Awesome. Go ahead.
I just had a question about our admissions. Are we a lottery or application selection?
I think the answer is both. It is a lottery.
Okay.
So students apply and they have to meet the eligibility requirements. And then if more students who are eligible apply than we have space, it goes to a lottery. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Great question.
Well, real quick, I just want to say thank you for doing an excellent job as usual. I probably won't surprise you, often get into debates about where we fall as a collegiate high school in the rankings statewide. One year, somebody told me they were number 1, and I called them out, and they weren't. We were number 2, and there was another one in Broward that was 1. So, do you know we fall still in the state rankings as a charter high school?
I do not.
If you could, just send that to me.
I will find out. Yes.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes. I appreciate the question.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you so much. I know the other day you were talking a lot about the enrollment period. It's time for us to recruit, and that our numbers are starting to go up, our interest numbers. And so I just want to thank you for the work of the team and the things that you guys are doing to make sure we have a good number of students to grow our program, especially at downtown. Good job.
Thank you very much.
Mr.
Thank
Chair,
you.
I am so sorry. There's 2 things I forgot to share with you guys that are for information. One is when we submitted our calendar for this year, we failed to recognize that the New Year's holiday was on the weekend, and we were planning to reopen on the 2nd, and we need to change that to the 3rd. And so I wanted to make sure you all knew that that was our error as we put the the calendar together, and I didn't want you to not know we're closed on the 2nd, and we will reopen on the 3rd, and we'll let the state know and make sure we get that done. The second thing I failed to tell you is on your tables you have our veterinary technology faculty sent you a response to my response to their first response regarding their concerns about where we are with moving the vet tech program and not having a clinic where we are responsible for it. And so Dr. Leal Troth has responded to theirs, and you have that on your tables, and I believe it was sent out to the vet tech faculty today or late last night, if I'm not wrong there. We have a meeting with the county at the end of this month. We believe we found a way for it to be a win-win. So I just wanted to be transparent and make sure you received theirs and you received what we responded to. And we'll continue to work along with our veterinary technology faculty as we make these recommended transitions, and we'll report back to you after the meeting with the county on that particular property. That's it. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Thank you, everybody.
You got to hit meeting is adjourned.
Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.